Let's talk about something most crypto projects completely ignore: systematic development phases that prioritize sustainability over speculation. Pi Network's journey represents the opposite of typical blockchain launches, where projects go from white paper to mainnet in just a few months, hoping to capture quick liquidity before fundamental problems emerge. Phase 1, Bootstrap Growth from 2019 to 2020, focused exclusively on user acquisition and mobile mining infrastructure. While other projects were burning millions on marketing campaigns, Pi quietly built a user base of over 1 million people who understood they were participating in long-term development, not get-rich-quick speculation. Phase 2, Testnet and ecosystem development from 2020 to 2021, enabled developers to build and test applications without risking real value. This testing environment allowed the network to identify and resolve technical issues before users could lose money, a luxury that rushed launches never provide. Phase 3, Enclosed Mainnet from 2021 to 2024, created internal economy functionality while maintaining network integrity. Users could migrate their mined Pi and interact with early applications, but the network remained closed to prevent external manipulation during development. So, this systematic approach, it definitely takes longer than what speculative projects usually prefer, but it actually creates foundation stability that instant launches just can't achieve. When Pi Network reaches Phase 4 Open Mainnet in 2025, they're launching with battle-tested infrastructure, a verified user base, and proven utility, instead of just hoping those elements develop after launch. Most blockchain projects honestly reverse this process. They launch first and then try to build later, which creates a lot of volatility, security vulnerabilities, and user experience problems that often end up being fatal to long-term adoption. Now, if this systematic development analysis is, expanding your understanding of how serious blockchain projects build sustainable infrastructure, absolutely smash that like button right now. It tells YouTube's algorithm that this kind of methodical development content is valuable, and it helps me reach more people who actually appreciate projects that prioritize foundation over speculation. And if you haven't joined the TJ Crypto World Intelligence Network yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because I deliver insights like this every single day that could totally reshape your perspective on sustainable blockchain development. Utility-first value creation. While most cryptocurrencies struggle to find applications beyond speculation, Pi Network actually built utility into their development process right from the very beginning. Their utility-first model makes sure Pcoin functions as an actual currency, not just some trading asset. The applications span peer-to-peer payments, merchant transactions, decentralized applications, community governance, and educational platforms. This comprehensive utility creates sustainable demand because people use Pcoin for actual economic activity rather than just hoping someone else will pay more later. But here's what differentiates Pi's approach from typical blockchain projects. They built utility during development phases, rather than hoping it would emerge after launch. The testnet phase allowed developers to create and refine applications before real money was at risk. The enclosed mainnet phase allowed users to experience utility within a controlled environment. This development methodology creates proven utility rather than theoretical utility. When Pi Network opens to external connectivity, they're not launching with promises about future applications. They're launching with working applications that have been tested and refined through multiple development phases. The Open Mainnet phase, really enables wallet transfers, merchant adoption, and broader ecosystem participation. That's because these capabilities have been developed and tested systematically instead of being rushed to market just for speculative trading. The Verified Participation Framework, Pi Network's KYC verification system honestly represents some strategic thinking about blockchain's institutional future. While privacy advocates might celebrate anonymous transactions, Pi recognized that mainstream adoption actually requires regulatory compliance and verified participation. Their Know Your Customer process, it pretty much eliminates bots, duplicate accounts, and fraudulent actors that usually plague anonymous networks. This creates a secure environment for transactions and governance, one that institutions and merchants can actually trust. When every network participant is verified, it really enables features that anonymous systems just struggle to implement. But, verification goes beyond just the technical benefits. It actually represents a philosophical commitment to transparency and authentic engagement. Pi Network really believes that secure digital economies have to be built on real participation by real people. rather than just anonymous speculation by unknown actors. This verified model, well, it enables meaningful governance where votes actually represent real stakeholders, not just manipulations by whales. It also makes merchant adoption possible because businesses can trust they're dealing with verified customers. And honestly, it enables institutional partnerships since regulatory frameworks can identify legitimate participants. The verification process, in a way, positions Pi for the regulatory environment that's emerging, instead of just fighting against regulations that already exist. As governments start to implement cryptocurrency oversight, projects with verified participation will have massive advantages over anonymous alternatives that, really struggle with compliance requirements. Listen, if this verified participation analysis is giving you a new perspective on how blockchain projects position themselves for regulatory compliance and institutional adoption, then I really need your help amplifying this educational content. So, go ahead and hit that like button again if you haven't already. Share this video with 3 people in your network who need to understand systematic blockchain development. And, drop a comment below telling me, do you think verified identity creates competitive advantages that outweigh privacy concerns? I read every single comment, and honestly, I often feature the most thoughtful responses in my follow-up analysis. Ecosystem expansion phase. The Open Mainnet launch actually represents Pi Network's transition from development to deployment. Developers can now build decentralized applications directly on Pi's Layer 1 blockchain, leveraging infrastructure that's been tested and refined through years of systematic development. The opportunities here include launching decentralized apps for commerce, education, and entertainment, integrating Pcoin into payment systems and mobile platforms, creating tools for governance and identity management, and collaborating with merchants and institutions for adoption acceleration. This open environment really fosters innovation because, developers are building on proven infrastructure instead of experimental systems. The verified user base provides a target market that other blockchain projects, honestly, struggle to attract. Real people with verified identities who actually understand long-term value creation. Global reach across more than 200 countries creates network effects that regional projects just cannot replicate. A mobile-first design ensures accessibility for populations that desktop-based blockchains often exclude. And the governance model, well, it empowers users to shape network evolution rather than leaving decisions to the founding teams. The combination of systematic development, verified participation, utility-first design, and global accessibility creates competitive advantages that rushed launches and anonymous networks simply cannot match. Pi Network, really, demonstrates what methodical blockchain development produces when given enough time and resources. I want to thank every member of the TJ Crypto World community for being part of this journey into blockchain projects that prioritize systematic development over speculative shortcuts. Your engagement, your thoughtful questions about development methodologies, your appreciation for projects that build foundation before hype. It really motivates me to keep analyzing these methodical development stories that demonstrate sustainable blockchain evolution. Pi Network's 6-year journey represents something really valuable in the crypto space. A project that has executed systematic development phases, maintained long-term vision during market volatility, and prioritized user verification and utility creation over speculative trading. Whether they succeed in becoming a global digital currency or face unexpected challenges, we're equipped with frameworks to evaluate these methodical development approaches. If you want to continue exploring projects that prioritize systematic development over rushed launches, check out my comprehensive analysis of Ethereum's development evolution from concept to world computer. I'll link it right here. It's honestly a deep dive into how long-term blockchain development creates sustainable value, and it perfectly complements today's Pi Network development analysis. Remember, the most successful blockchain projects often require years of systematic development before they're ready for mainstream adoption. Quick launches might capture speculative attention, but methodical development builds infrastructure that can actually support global economies. Stay analytical, stay patient, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll be examining another project that chooses systematic development over speculative shortcuts. Until then, this is TJ from TJ Crypto World, reminding you to evaluate projects based on development methodology rather than launch hype, and always consider long-term sustainability over short-term speculation. The next phase of blockchain adoption is always one methodical analysis away.